the best player on one of my teams in high school, not my high school team, a different team. He was constantly showing up like maybe 11 minutes before the game starts, which is not enough time to like put on your stuff quickly and also be listening to the coach tell you like any info they have about the opposing team or like what strategies they're going to run tonight. And this guy would like bring in, I would stress on his behalf because I had a thing where I'm like, I'm the goalie. Like I can't be late ever. Like they can't start it without me. They can start a different player out there, but I have to be ready. And so I'd be sitting there like all my pads on, like helmet, like perched atop my head because I don't want to pull it down yet. And it would be like, the coach would be like, Dan, we got 2 minutes till ice time. Everybody stand up, get moving, loosen up. And he's like halfway through his nachos. Halfway. And he was good enough on the team that he could fuck around. And he was the first like kid my age who I saw like openly disrespect adults like in coaching positions in a way that like I couldn't fathom. I was like, that's a good way to get hit. But like the coach would be like, Dan, your pants aren't on yet. Can you put your hockey pants on, please? We were about to, everybody stand up. Come on, Taylor, lead the way. We're heading out. And he'd be like, oh, fair enough. He would say that. He would like do a little Indian style head wag and go, fair enough, as if he was like being asked for like a huge amount of responsibility.
Without trying.
I could smell how drunk he was during games sometimes.
How old was he?
We were like 16. And so like I would like make a save and he would skate up to me and he'd be like, hell of a save, Taylor, hell of a save. Good job. Like hitting my head too long after the save. And I'd be like, Dan, please, can you score? We're tied 3-3. And he's like, we'll see. Scores the next shift. He's like, it's because you asked me, Taylor.
Is that a true story?
Yes. Like he was a total fuck around guy. And he was, but like you can.
I didn't know anybody who had an alcohol problem at that age.
He had a brother who was like 8 years older than us, and bought him whatever he wanted, and it never impeded his game. He was always great. So there
wasn't a lot of that going on when I was a kid either. Like there were some adults whose houses you could party at for sure and like have beer openly. But I don't remember. There weren't any adults buying it for us. Like I had the one guy. I was the hookup through Chuck. The homeless man who worked for my dad. Like those were some of the, I remember every liquor trip I ever took with Chuck because they were all memorable. It just being like, what do you guys need? Like taking a list, like, all right, Goldschlager, like an Aftershock. That's disgusting. Okay.
Aftershock.
12-pack of Dos Equis. All right, I got it. And then just going and picking Chuck's ass up and be like, Chuck, you want to go to the liquor store? Hell yeah, man. Can I get me a little something? I'm like, of course, Chuck, that's the deal. And the best was when Chuck is holding a soggy 6-pack of beer. You know, it's got that cardboard and it's so soggy that the handle broke in his hand and the whole 6-pack hit the concrete floor of the liquor store and exploded in front of the management. And we're children, essentially, flanking him on either side. So
you went in the store with him?
Oh yeah. We're with him
do that?
to show him what you can't send. Dude, this guy is not.
Chuck could not be trusted. Yeah.
No, he'd fuck it up. I'm gonna give him $80 and send him into a store. No, if I go in there with him, I literally would like peel the money off and like make sure he didn't fuck us over. But he shattered that shit in the floor, and everybody looks at him and us, and he just goes, "What the hell, man? Bullshit 6-pack. I ain't paying for that. Get another one, boys." And it was like, wow, Chuck's a gangster.
It sounds like Chuck's right, though. Like,
he was right. Yeah. You know how like it had gotten soggy from the humidity inside the cooler, and the handle had like, it wasn't his fault, but a normal.
He could have been a little more on the ball.
You know, put your hand under it. If I would never. That wouldn't happen to me. I put my fucking hand under it. But he's like,
bring grocery bags in, and you feel whether or not this thing's got the strength to hold its weight.
Yeah.
Another way to get booze without doing a hey mister with a Chuck type is to convince your mom that you and your 19-year-old friends are going to have a high class wine party where we also eat cheeses, and then she goes to Trader Joe's and buys you fucking 10 bottles of wine, and then you and your friends have an agreement where you all wear like sweater vests that evening. And then you get shithoused in the basement on wine, being like, this cheese is pretty good. Just doing shit like that. I remember, like, I've said it before on the show many years ago, but I remember the beginning of that night, like wearing a polo, my friends in a sweater vest, and we're like all at the downstairs like table being like to class, like clashing, and then like guzzling a whole glass of wine. And I remember having a Saving Private Ryan moment, like pouring another glass of wine later and looking out and like seeing my friend chasing my brother around the pool table. Like no one's wearing their sweater vests anymore. Everyone's trashed. The cheese is long gone. And I'm like, there's just nothing even vaguely classy about this. But that's what you need to do. You just trick your mom into doing that.
I don't think my mom would have gone for that at all. She drank a little. Like there would be beer in our house, but my parents would drink like 1 beer or 2 beers. Like it would never be like, I never seen my mom drunk. I've seen my dad pretty drunk, but even then, like well within control and having a normal conversation, just having a good time. They weren't going to, I never asked my dad to buy me alcohol. Maybe he would have if I had like sold it as some sort of like, yeah, these girls, I'm going out and going to see them. And like Bridget's going to be there and Caitlin's going to be there. And it'd be great if I had a bottle of alcohol. I'd be the guy. Like I probably could have sold that, but I had Chuck. So I didn't need to do all that.
Chuck was the man.
Chuck was the man. R.I.P.
I'm assuming R.I.P.
Oh yeah. I paid for the funeral. It was, yeah.
Alcohol in my house was so frowned upon. It was on the level of like crack or meth or something. I remember my aunt married a husband who did really well. And we're at their house. I think we had gone crabbing that day or clamming or something like that. So there we are in her the bayfront house looking at the water, some sort of crab bake, whatever. And my aunt had a beer and my father's like side-eyeing her like this fucking slut. Can you believe this? In front of everyone, a beer? like he would never settle for a woman like that. That was the vibe.
Now that's odd to be like judging some lady relaxing for having a beer.
Right? And it's like, I don't know, overlooking the bay at like a crab bake, like that's beer time, right?
Yeah. She's not driving down the road, taking him to school.
No.
Have a good day, kids.
Was he like bigoted?
You want a little snort for first period?
Was he bigoted in the type of alcohol? Was he like, beer is boorish and low class? Like if he had seen her with a glass of wine, would he be like,
I don't think so. I think all alcohol was just below him. Like,
what about Jesus?
Nothing.
He was all about turning that water into wine.
Jesus a slut too?
Well, the wine, it was just wine at every meal.
His first miracle was literally people being like, this party sucks. They ran out of wine. And Jesus is like, hold your horses, folks. And then he zaps all of it into wine. And then everybody keeps partying.
Yeah.
Why they think Jesus was wrong for keeping the party going? Take that up with him. I think he was right.
I'm sure he's spoken to him about it since.
Yeah,
we didn't have any. We weren't like I said, there wasn't a lot of drinking in our house, but we didn't think any less of it, or I never did, or wasn't introduced to that sort of idea. Now, definitely people who were drunks and people who were always drunk. That was a bad look that we wasn't condoned. And
that
even as a kid, I'm
grandfather and the genesis of the anti-alcohol in my family.
Yeah. I had the similar situations with the abusive alcoholic grandfathers, but it didn't sort of delineate down to a hatred for alcohol, more of a caution around it, I suppose, with my parents.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Seems like a better way to handle it. I remember suppose. Like my parents and their friends would drink, but it was like similar to you, rare that I would like see an adult as a kid like hammered. I can only think of like one friend's mom that would always get drunk. And like I didn't understand what that was at the time because I was very young. Like I always just thought like, oh, fucking your friends are coming over. They have those kids our age. That's awesome. Like we can hang out and do this and that. But she was always drunk. And so I guess that's something that like Kyle's family would have frowned on, but I just thought she was like a really friendly lady. It did not bother me at all.
Well, it depends where they're always drunk. Like if you're always drunk,
it was like at a barbecue. Like,
yeah, that's fine. Like that's when you get drunk. I'm talking about like my dad had friends and they would come to visit like his farm and like shoot the shit and just kind of sit around like the shop, you know, just drinking, and they'd show up drunk. Like the one guy would show like I've talked about him before. His name's Ricky. I was at the gas station one day and it was raining like hell. And I was like, hey Ricky, how's it going? Like, not much. I'm like, what are you doing today? On rainy days like this. This is exactly what he sounds like. On rainy days like this, I like to get a case of beer and just ride. And it was like his hobby was drunk driving on rainy days.
You sold that well when you said, how's it going? And he said, not much.
Yeah, that guy was great.